Hey YouTube, how you doing? Just wanted to update you on my progress with my recovery from my ruptured Achilles, which I did about 6 weeks ago now. So this is a video for weeks 5 and 6. It's just going to do them together. And if you want to find out more about how I hurt my Achilles or how I ruptured it and my recovery so far, just check out the previous videos, which might be up here or might just be on my channel as well. I'm not too sure. So I've had a pretty good week in terms of my recovery and stuff, or week, 10 days, 2 weeks, however long it's been. I now have 2 of these bad boys out of my boot, and I'm just on the third one on the bottom. So I took out the second one, I took out the smaller one first, and then took out the bigger one second, and did that 3-4 days ago, and initially it was pretty uncomfortable, not where you would expect. So the Achilles wasn't uncomfortable, it was more that my heel really started to hurt. And I think that, thinking about it more, it's because my foot has been, standing on this thing, and it's been on a slope, and my foot has been sort of like pointing down more. So it means that the ball of my foot and the instep of my foot has been taking more of my weight, when now the heel is having to do that. So the heel really ached for like the first couple of days. I was standing around quite a bit as well, and probably shouldn't have been doing that as much, but it did really sort of contribute to it. It now feels fine. But if you're going through a recovery, maybe just be prepared for the heel to ache a bit more, because it's being used probably for the first time in a while. So that's good. It's good to be down to one wedge. So I now have the final wedge for 2 weeks, and then I go into the hospital and meet with the doctor into the NHS hospital, and they might take the boot off, which would be really interesting, also a little bit nervous as well, in terms of like having the foot exposed and sort of like vulnerable and stuff. So I'll keep you posted and let you know how that goes. So other things that I wanted to cover on this video was that I wanted to try to show you my knee scooter, because I've had a really good time with this, and I couldn't recommend it sort of like highly enough. So if I work out how I'm going to do this, if I just try to set this up here, I think you'll be able to see it down here. So if I lift it up, this is the knee scooter, and it's pretty it's been a real game changer for me in terms of my advice and recommendation if I was doing this again would be, if you've ruptured your Achilles, I would buy one like straight away and get it, Amazon's next day delivery, whatever, and just get it. It was a real big help when I was on crutches. So not being able to use my hands and stuff on the crutches was really frustrating, and I'm sure it would be frustrating for you if you're going through a similar thing. And having the knee scooter just meant that I could put one knee on it, and my knee, I think you can probably just see that. So I'm sort of like resting on the pad, and this leg pushes and whatever, and away I kind of go. So it means that I can use my hands, and I can carry stuff. So I can sort of like get around like this, and then when I get tired, or if I just need to sit down, I can just plonk on the knee scooter, and it's got up here, you sort of like squeeze the brakes in, and then it's got a little handbrake, so I can't sort of like go anywhere, so the scooter's stuck there. And yeah, it's super convenient, and really reasonably priced as well. So it's got a little basket for putting stuff in, and then down here, normally your knee goes in like this, but if you need to sort of like get anything to a side, you can use the secondary sort of groove here. And even in the plaster, which I was in the plaster initially, and it's pretty common to be in that, then it was fine, and I've had a lot of use out of it, really just probably around the house, and in the kitchen, and making food and teas and coffees and drinks and stuff. Real big game changer. So just having it in there, you can take it outside, and it's quite fun taking it to the hospital or around the supermarket, stuff like that. And even on the trains and sort of on the platforms and stuff like that. It's handy. The shock absorbing factor, isn't fantastic. So if you have pavements or cobblestones, which are like, bumpy and things, you're going to take a bit of impact through your arms and stuff. And you probably won't want to go long distance on it. But around the house, like for the first 3-4 weeks, I couldn't recommend it highly enough. I bought it from Amazon. I'll share a link of where I got it from, and the Amazon price was like maybe 120 quid or something, and that was delivered really quickly, easy to assemble, and then when I'm finished with it, I'll just flick it off on eBay or something, and maybe get like 60 quid or something like that for it, and it's definitely worth the £60 that I paid for it, or that I would have lost or spent using it, kind of thing. Couldn't recommend it highly enough. And then the other sort of like piece of equipment which I would recommend as well is this thing. It's called an Even Up, and you've probably seen these elsewhere, but it's got the name Even Up. Someone obviously came up with that, and the shoe just clips into it, and then you put the shoe on, and what it does is just evens up the height of your legs, or the length of your legs. So it means that when you're walking around and stuff, your gait is fine, and it's all sort of like good. So if I show you my walk now, you can sort of like see what it looks like. And again, I think this thing's like 35 quid. I'll post a link on eBay, and if you've ruptured your Achilles, definitely get one like straight away, because it's inevitable that you will be in a boot at some stage. And if you've got it from when you first get the boot, then when you start partially weight bearing and getting around, then definitely worth having it. So let's set up this camera here. So I'm just going to show you my walk, and you can see how I'm walking now. So here we go. So that's my walk. I think it's pretty good. Like it's, feels quite even, and it doesn't hurt, or there's no sort of like discomfort. Today, I walked, I don't know, 500, 600 meters to a post, to like a post box and back and stuff, and it was perfectly fine. And yeah, the Even Up is like a real big advantage. So definitely get that, and the knee scooter, and I can probably sell off the Even Up if I want to afterwards on eBay or something, and recoup some cost on it. It's not the kind of thing you're hopefully going to need more than once in your life. So yeah, that's sort of like a really quick overview of how I found weeks 5 and 6. So really great to get the second wedge out, one wedge to go. Be prepared for a little bit of discomfort when you take out that second wedge, potentially for you. If you've just hurt your Achilles, buy a knee scooter. Definitely worth the investment. And buy the Even Up. Again, definitely worth the investment. And yeah, I will update you with more progress. And if you've got any questions or comments, just post, and I'll answer. Cheers, bye.